So if you want after rendering, if you think you need this light more bright or less bright, that you can do easily in compositing without re-rendering the passes again. Okay. So the main thing is separating all the passes to control and compositing. First you render, then without any major changes, everything you can control in new content that you can do.
Right.
Um, so here I'm rendering all the passes. These are the light passes. These are the specular passes are rendered separately. This is environment specular. This is key light specular, the main light specular. Uh, the other light was specular as well. And I've rendered the volume pass separately. This is my volume pass. That is environment fog. But this is with color and grayscale, but this is the main light. So the main thing, main difference in the lighting render and the lighting render with fog is that this pass only. All the volume passes. That is the fog, environment fog. So here also I've rendered the fog separately. The door fog, this is that environment fog. You can see there is no lighting. This is just the fog information.
Mm-hmm.
This is uh, this is the fog information of the environment light. This is the fog information of the door and windows light. This is fog information. Okay, father height. Uh, this is the two light. I've rendered the fog separately. Okay. So now, so that is also rendering. I've rendered this in one image only for the whole thing, and I've taken out all the separate passes. And if you see the final image, you can see there are some fog spreading from the window. You can see some guardrail like kind of thing.
Right.
See this area. You see that character is casting some shadow on the fog. If you see here, this is some fog is coming out of the window holes, and that is creating some shadows on the fog. That light are rendered separately. If you see this render, that information is not there. That information is not there in this pass, but here I've rendered that passes separately. So this is just some extra fog pass I've rendered. Okay, with one extra light. So for that light, I've created one separate layer, and for this layer, I'm rendering it in Lambert only. I'm not using any texture information because I need the output, all the objects to be black only. I just need the shaded information. Sorry, I just need the volume information of that light so that I can use this light on top of my output so that I'll get some good guardrails. So this for this light, I've taken out only the house. You can take the whole object in this layer, but I've taken only the house because that is what only will be visible in this layer. So I've created separate layer and put one extra light. This is the extra fog light. Switch on the extra fog light. So this is that light. For that I have used point light. So to render this area, where is the render window? Yeah. So this is my lighting output. Now I'm rendering the extra fog mask. So each and every object in this layer is black only right now. Not using any texture information, just with one light. If you rotate the light, you will see the changes in the fog. Okay. So this is how I created that a fog light. And so there are two layers I rendered, one extra fog light and one the beauty layer with all the passes, with all the fog. and with all the separate passes as well, like diffuse. And this is my emission pass. Using this pass, I've added the glow. Okay, for the emission, you can the shader of the emission is like this. For this object, for this object, I've
Abhi,
created an emission path.
sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Yes, system.
There is a question that can you tell about the adding fog in Arnold?
Adding fog in Arnold. Yes, yes. Okay. So this is the how I created that emission pass. This is one separate pass I've created using the textures. So this is the texture. I've taken out the red information from the texture that you can do in Nuke. No need to go to Photoshop. If you know Nuke pretty well, then obviously a lot of things you can do it in Nuke only. So this is that was my this is my diffuse pass. I've taken out the red using one expression in Nuke. Taken out the red pass. So go to this is some expression. So using that you can take out the red. One grade and select this. So using this pass, I've created the textures of the emission. And this emission texture I've used on the shader emission properties. If you go to Redshift shader, you'll get go to overall emission. So here I've added that texture. Here I've added that emission texture. So and because of that, in the emission I'm getting in the emission pass I'm getting this texture separately. So later on using this pass I'll add glow so that it will look like a light. Okay, so that's all for the lighting and rendering. So I'll be starting the compositing now. I'll be telling about the compositing now. So delete everything. So this is Nuke. This is one of the vastly used compositing software in this industry. In VFX, in gaming or in CG, wherever you are doing compositing, mostly every studio is using the Nuke only. For some VFX company, they are using After Effects, but most of the companies using Nuke only. Okay. And there are very less amount of studio which are still using Fusion. Fusion is not very user friendly. Obviously, you can go and use Fusion, but if you're working in a company, obviously you need to use Nuke. And that is why in our courses we're not teaching the Fusion. We'll be teaching the basic of Photoshop and the advanced of Nuke. Okay, so if you see, this is called Gizmo. You will find Gizmo. This is manually created Gizmo. Okay. So here you can control all the passes. Whatever passes you are seeing here, whatever the passes you are seeing here, that all the passes will get one controller control the amount. Like this is the basic beauty. You want the diffuse, the object texture to be working more so that you can use more diffuse. So this is adding the diffuse information on the final output. If you want more bright output, then obviously no need to go and render again from Maya. That you can do in compositing. If you rendered all the passes separately, so using these controllers, you can control the amount of the passes. See, this is the diffuse control. This is the key light control. This is the key light control. You see here. This is the key light control. And this is the key specular control. So in the compositing, if you want, you can kill any object, any passes. Suppose after compositing, you're feeling that reflection on the water. So in the compositing, you can go and kill that reflection completely. Or if you want to be brighter, if you want to be any other color, that also you can do. Okay. If you want to change the color, that you can do. Okay, if you want green reflection on the red lighting, that also you can do in compositing. That's up to your requirement. So I didn't do any adjustment. This is I'm just keeping the basic value. And this is my environment lighting. So for the environment also you can suppose you want darker out, so you can reduce the environment lighting. This is my dome lighting setting. Whatever dome light I'm putting, this is my dome light setting. So this light out in the compositing you can control using this custom tool. Okay. So obviously in the new you won't get this. This is custom made tool so that you can control all the lights together. In compositing also, if you want the environment light to be black only, you can do that. Or if you want blue light to be red, that also you can do. Okay, if you want red environment lighting or red fog, that you can do using in the comp only. If you want red light kind of output, that you can do. So it's basically taking all the passes separately and controlling those passes in compositing. Okay. Like that also you can control the reflection as well. Suppose in the water you don't want any reflection, that from here you can control the reflection. But to control all these passes separately, you need to render the passes separately and you need to use this gizmo. So here you can control all the passes. And this is my EMI. This is also you can control. Suppose after rendering you're feeling that I don't need this EMI. I don't need this light. So you can go and kill that light. So that whatever the diffuse information you had, you get that only. If you want to add, if you want to use the brightness or darkness value, that you can do. Okay. So this is just to this gizmo is used just to control all the values. So this is the basic. I didn't add much controller because all the adjustment I did in Maya itself, whatever the diffuse information. Suppose some objects were coming black, so the shader information only. I use some redshift. If you go to shader, I've used some color adjustment in the color balance. I've used some color gain adjustment. See, this is I've brightened the output. That you can do after rendering. You can do if you have separate maps that you can do in compositing only. For that you need to take the passes separately. Suppose this is my selection. This is the front two tree. That is the back tree in blue color. So here from here you can select all the passes, all the objects separately. If you want to do any adjustment on the ground only, that you can do using this matte passes. This is called matte. So this same technique, matte technique in other software in Arnold as well, you'll get that matte. So I've taken out some required objects, but whatever the adjustment I needed, I already did that in Maya. That is why I didn't do anything in compositing. But obviously, you can go and change everything in compositing if you want the output to be different. Then this is a basic lighting output. I'll be adding the fog later on. And this was my sky. There is no sky on the output if you see. That is black only. There is nothing. I've added one downloaded image. This is downloaded image. I've added some CC. I've adjusted the size accordingly. Then I've added some CC according to my image. This is night only. So, and this is some kind of different fantasy kind of output. But in compositing, I did some CC and adjusted that color to match up with my output. Okay. So this is after adding the sky. So 1 and 2, this is after adding the sky. So after adding the sky, I'll be adding all the fogs. So as I showed you, this is the environment fog. This is the Kipa. This is the door fog. So I've added the environment fog on top of the BG and sky. Before adding the environment fog, I have added sky, then adding the environment fog, then adding this environment. Okay. So after adding the sky, I have added both the environment fog. You can see the changes. This is looking too dark and too dull. After adding the fog, it's looking very fantastic. So then I've added the emission. I've take out the this portion also using Loto, because in my emission path also the lights are also come. Took out the this part separately. Added little glow. Again, this is another separate separate gizmo which you can download from internet. From here you can control all the blur value and all. This is separate gizmo. You can adjust the size of the blur. You can adjust the intensity of the blur. There are some extra settings as well. So again, this is emission path. This is after adding glow. I've added little much glow so that it will look like a light. Then on this pass, I'm adding that glow separately on top of this output. So this is the glow. Obviously, this glow you cannot add in Maya. You don't have any glow option in Maya. So that you need to take out the passes separately. Thus, I've taken it as a EMI pass. That is, I'm adding glow on top of the whole output. Then after one thing is only left, that is that extra fog. That is that extra fog. This fog also I'm adding on top of this output. And I did some adjustment on the water so that it will look little good. To enhance the water, I've adjusted little, I've taken out the reflection of the water. This is the reflection of the water. This is the specular of the water. You will see. I've taken out to the both the passes merged. Added some CC and added some glow on the water reflection as well. Because in this output we are seeing lot of glow in the main light. In the main light we are seeing lot of glow, but on the reflection we are not seeing any glow. So I've added, so I've taken out the reflection separately, added glow and added top of the whole output. Okay, so this is the water glow. If you see the changes, this is the water glow. You can see the water is having more specular or reflection after adding this. So this little kind of adjustment you can do in compositing. If you render the passes separately, there are a lot of things you can do in compositing. A lot of enhancement you can do. And sometimes in our studio, we suppose there are some mistake in the render, but using compositing, you can remove those mistakes from your output as well. There are some penetration, some issues, some floating issue that also you can do in compositing. If you have all the passes separately, easily you can do that. So this is just the output. After adding the fog, I'm getting little direction of the fog. So this is not visible properly. So this is the change. This is the change you can see. We are getting some direction of the fog. Then added one CC, overall CC to enhance the whole output. Then added one roto to add some vignette on the sky. The sky is looking brighter on the top portion, so added one vignette on the top portion. Obviously, you can go and darken this corner also, but this is already dark, so that is why I have added the vignette on the top portion only. Okay. So this is my final comp output. And like this way only, I have created 3 separate camera. If you go to camera view, obviously same lighting and same rendering, you can render different angles. So I have rendered these 3 different angles. This is the first camera, this is the little bit zoomed camera, and this little bit more zoomed camera. We have taken the render, the whole all three render in compositing itself. Here, if you go to second frame, you can see this render. This is the separate frame. This is more close-up frame. So for every frame, you do not need separate conflow in one conflow only. I did that. So this is the same conflow you are using. So if you go to any other camera angle, this is the same flow, it will work in all the angle. So like this only you have to do the compositing and lighting so that in all the angle you can do. Obviously in Maya I added asset for this from this side camera angle only, but if you have full camera angle then you can rotate the camera, you can track the camera, you can zoom in, zoom out the camera, whatever you can do, but plan your lighting according to all the camera as well. Like I did the lighting for one camera angle only, but whenever I'm changing the camera, the lighting is not changing and it is working for all the angle. So the lighting, if you're working in a production or any personal project where you want the camera movement, obviously you need to do the lighting for the all angle, so that wherever you put your camera, the lighting will be the same only. And in compositing only, there is only one compositing flow for all the three angles. So you just put the change the camera angle, render that, and go to compositing, reload that frame, and it will be ready for all the angle. So like this only you need to do the lighting and compositing. Whenever you are doing lighting, you need to keep that in mind that it should work on all the angle as well. So like that I've rendered and layer context repeat. So this is my three output. Taking context sheet. So this is my three output. I think it's looking a little darker. I'll brighten it a little over here. So this is how I created this scene using all the asset process, then did the lighting, then did redshift rendering, then did putting in Nuke software with all the separate passes, added the sky, added some little glow, and that's it. This is the final output. Obviously, this is a long process. I've just shown you whatever is possible in 2 hours, but this is a long process. After adding all the automated asset only, it took me 1.5 days to complete the whole thing. But this is how it is. Yes.
Cool. Thank you, Habib. So we have couple of more questions regarding, I mean, the lighting and all. So let's
Yes.
complete up the question and then end. Then we will review the artwork. That artwork for the Hicham. He has a art station thing page, so that we will review it quickly. So
Yes.
the question is, so is there any prerequisites for the courses mainly for animation? No, I don't think so. Anirudh?
Uh, Not exactly, but it is better if you have some sketching kind of sense and acting sense there, and little bit of body mechanics. It would help you, but as such, there is no mandatory fast rule that you have to know all these things and then only you can come to animation. So we teach you what to look at and what not to.
Yes,
Yes.
and even during the course or even during your uh, professional career, you can learn and improve that skills as well.
Right.
Yes, yes. Side by side, whenever you're doing courses, there will be a lot of other activities as well, like drawing, like stop motion, and all the lot. There are a lot of other activities also we do on
Yeah.
time basis. So
So
obviously, with those
actually in the
activities,
animation, VFX and gaming industry, the one prerequisite is required is your motivation and your dedication. This is the only thing is
yes, yes,
required.
yes, yes,
This is the
yes.
only thing is required. If you have this thing, you have the patience, you have the courage to do something better than everyone is doing and something different than everyone is doing, then this is for you. I mean, this is the only thing is required. So okay, let's move on. Right, I'm just wrapping it up as soon as possible because we have already behind the schedule. So there is a question. I am a bit confused about this question, and you just have a look on it. That sir, in animation or movie industry, we render it in the way, but suppose I want to be in a lighting artist in gaming industry. Okay, then how can I do?
See, gaming industry, uh, we do the light here in Maya. There are some games which are modeled in Maya, and later on it exported to game engine. But lot of the games are not directly. They are not using Maya for the lighting. Okay. They are directly using game engine like Unity or Unreal. In there, the lighting you can do. The process is same only like that. You can do. You can add. You need to add all the lights. You need to add then fog, whatever you want. That the process is almost same only, but the software is that is live software. Like all the output you can see in viewport only. Like if you merge Nuke and Maya together, that is what is a gaming engine. In gaming engine, in the viewport itself, if you put any light in the viewport itself, you can see all the lights. Okay, like that is like this only. This will be your game engine viewport. So in the game engine viewport only, the lighting process is same, but there is no rendering for gaming. We're not rendering out anything and merging that in compositing, the compositing part, adding occlusion, adding glow, adding everything. That will be done in that inside the software only. And that after that there is one option called bake lighting. That all the lighting information you can bake into the texture. Some games are using that baking lighting, and some game are using that real lighting. That is what it all about gaming engine. In CG we render everything, but in gaming we don't render anything. We just directly view the viewport only. Whenever you're playing any game, you're directly viewing the viewport only with all the lights and all the effects.
Right. Thank you. So this is the time so that we can review the. So Habib, can your screen is shared? Can you please open the link? Is there in the chat box, or I
Yeah,
can share?
it is there.
Yes. Okay, let me find it.
Yeah, there is a art session link. It's 6:31 p.m. You just write it down.
631. Yes, yes.
Just click on the link. Yeah, this is the one.
Yes, yes. Okay, so he's using Unreal only. Okay, yes.
Just
So
open the image
I
one
can
by one, I guess.
see. Uh, okay, he's putting some reference. As well. So I can see there's only one output with 2, 3 camera angles. Okay. So Mohammed Hicham, you there in the? Can you please switch on your mic and so that you can talk? Hi Mohammed.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you guys?
Uh, I'm good, and I hope the other participants, other mentors are good as well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Firstly, I want to thank you for the presentation.
Okay,
I have
okay.
a good knowledge about Maya, but thank you. The Arland rendering is very clear. Thank you.
Okay, so
And
you're from Mohammed?
I'm from Algeria,
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
it's situated in the North Africa.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
So you understood everything, whatever I showed, right?
Yeah, I have been struggling on the lighting on my side in Unreal Engine. I use a bit the physical value for the lighting, but the roughness it's a bit weird on my scene here. So I went with the dynamic lighting, then I back to the static lighting. It's a mess, and finally I'm happy with the result. And please, can you review this
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
give
yes.
me any tips?
So this is done using Unreal Engine only, right?
Yeah, no, the assets breakdown is rendering on the Marmoset toolback,
Okay,
and
okay,
the main scene is on UE4.
okay, okay. So as I can see, there are a lot of elements, lot of props are there.
Yeah, yeah.
But main thing I like to say that the specular information is not there in your scene. The main thing,
Mm-hmm.
if you check this close-up output, you can see all the small objects having specular information, but all the specular information is flat only. There is no roughness information on any object. Like say, suppose this is different kind of plastic, this is different kind of plastic, and this is tin, I think, right?
Yeah,
So all these different kind of objects are having same kind of specular. That is the main difference. If you see the reference, suppose
The
this is your
material
reference.
is not exactly visible, right? What material is what, which of.
Yes. Suppose this is uh, what? This is your this is separate object. This is aluminum, and this is steel. If you see the
mm-hmm.
specular information, this is sharp specular. But if you see this plastic, the specular is different here. So all the
Yeah,
objects are having roughness information. The steel objects are more sharp or plain, and the other objects like this is more rough. So obviously you won't get any specular on the wood. And that information, basic lighting, there are a lot of things to lighting. But main thing I'd like to say that the specular information is not there. The objects are having same kind of specular. So work on the
I think the
roughness value.
mm-hmm.
Work on the roughness value. See, if you see this image closely, uh, this is the water. See, there are some portion of the water. There are some portion of the water. It's plain reflection, and some portion is hazy because the water is muddy. Some portion of the water is clear. So
Mm-hmm.
see this area. This area is clear reflection. I can see, but this area we don't
Yeah.
see any clear reflection. So that is the roughness information of the object.
But here I think the reflection probe used is the planar reflection.
No.
I
This is
use
the,
the
the
planar
object is
reflection.
plain only, but the object is plain only. I'll show you the
Mm-hmm.
texture. I'll show you the texture roughness information of that. If you go to texture, I've added roughness map here. If you can see,
Mm-hmm.
I've added one
Yeah.
roughness map here. So if you open this roughness map into see, this is the roughness map. Whenever you're so this is the roughness value of the surface of the water surface.
Yeah.
If the water is not rough, obviously there won't be any roughness value like this. This area you'll be seeing clear reflection. This area you will be seeing hazy reflection because of the roughness value of the surface. So here you need that roughness information. Like here you already did that in the separate object. Suppose this object is uh, more reflective object. This is rough object. Like this is fully rough object. So that information is visible in separate shader.
Yeah.
But in find the output order, this output that is not clearly visible in this output. Maybe because of the lighting, because of the compositing you did, all the speculars are looking same only. See, this is the tin cannon, this is the steel rough object. But in the this branches of all we cannot see in the reflection. The reflection is flat. The specular is flat. That is the main issue. this also.
Thank you very much.
But the lighting is also
Habib, I
messy.
want to add one very
Yes, yes.
small point. I mean, this is okay to use a photorealistic reference and just incorporate it in that's the same in 3D. I mean, maybe the game engine or maybe in Maya or new. I think uh, uh, is I mean, if you have any possibilities, just try to just convert it into a dramatic lighting. I mean,
The main
take the same geometry. I mean, same asset you have, and just assume this is a maybe a 10 a.m. kind of 11 a.m. kind of a light. Maybe
the
assume that this is a sunset kind of a time. Maybe some lights
yeah,
are
it's an
on.
overcast. Yeah,
Maybe so
it's an overcast.
whenever you try that kind of stuff, something different, that will help you to use your brain, to create something different. So you can try that exercise. That may help you better.
The main reason here of the lighting here, I used only one source lighting, which two source of lighting, which is the skylight and the sunlight. I have discussed this with, as you can see in my description in the art station, with Bobby, who is a lead environment artist at Rockstars, and we have stable in this idea to use to use only two sources because of the optimization, and for the roughness point we use texture sheets. All the metal objects use only one texture sheet, and I think we did this scene very optimized. And thank you for your points.
But I
This is
think
so
I I have a very specific point. Just whenever you did something, just open it both the version. I mean your reference and your output in Nuke, and do just A B simultaneously. I mean a couple of times. Just check that where is the what is the missing you have. I mean whatever you missed in your output, which is there in the reference, because you have
Yeah.
the exactly the bang on camera, right? So you can do that. So uh, that can help you, not only you, everyone. We also do the same way, because if we incorporate the the reference thing, then only I think this is
And
helpful to you, all the suggestions maybe.
yeah, one another thing, please. The scene is for, I think I put the scene is almost 1 year till now, and I've been struggling to find a job as even as a junior artist. So if you can please give me any advice, I will appreciate it very much.
Hmm. I mean, I don't know, but international market right now, but yeah, people all are struggling this year in the international market. But we can talk about the India, because we have a lot of openings in India. But I think just go to the LinkedIn profile. I mean, try out, just send your profile as much as possible. That only can help you right now, maybe.
yes, in India right now, some companies are offering job, but I don't know whether they'll be taking international artists and what is the process applying or getting the job. We don't know actually, but surely there are job in India for the lighting artists as well. When search in
Actually,
LinkedIn,
I was in contact with the rock stars in India, but it's
okay, okay,
ended locked because of the visa,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that is the for international candidates. We are also
yeah, yeah,
facing
yeah,
the same problem,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah.
even the outsiders also facing the same problem. I mean, try to grab a job as what is that called, as nearby of your place, or your country, that can help
Uh,
you
right now,
maybe.
right now, the world, the situation of the whole world is not that
Yeah.
much visible, so that everyone can do job everywhere. That is
So yeah,
something.
most of the countries have stopped giving visa to the candidates from other countries.
Other
Yes.
countries, yes.
Right now, that visa process, I think for all the countries, it's changed now. Every country is applying their own rule and regulation.
But do not
It's
lose
better
hope.
if you,
Go on trying, you'll get something very soon.
yes, yes. I think Rockstar also now has lighting artist vacancies. So
but it's different about the international candidates.
yes, yes,
Right.
yes. That part I don't know, but yes, vacancies are there in India.
Yeah, just keep trying, and at the same time, if we got something, then we will definitely let you know. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
You
thank
beat
you.
Click Academy. And one more thing, Click Academy also conducts a competition. Okay, it's an open competition for everyone throughout the world. That is Shades of Creation. If you go to their site, you will find there, and there are lighting competition as well. So what happens?
Yes, yes, Mohammed, I'll be showing you this month lighting competition. What is the scene I'm give for lighting. So shades of creation. So this is one scene using the same process I've created. This is one scene you can see. This scene you can go to our website, Shades of Creation page. You can download the whole scene with all the textures. And if you want to do the lighting in different software, that also you can do apart from Maya. One FBX format, one ABC Alembic format is there. You can directly import that objects to your preferable rendering software that you can do. All the textures are also available with all the models and everything. You just need to do the lighting. Okay. So I think you can join the competition. This month it's going on. The last date is this month end. The final review is there, and we have some WIP review as well, so that we can review it. Review in the work in process time, and we can give you some valuable feedback also as well. So this month, this lighting competition and another department also compositing is going on. So you can go to our website, that is Click Academy of Digital Art, or else you can go to our Facebook page, or you can follow our Instagram page as well. You'll get all the updates. So from there you can download this asset, or you can start doing this lighting in also.
I will do
This
so.
is
Thank you.
this is free for use. You can download the asset. You can use this asset for your showreel as well if you want. This is free for all.
This competition is actually for every department, and month-wise we release some 2 or 3 sets of competitions for different departments. Okay, so you have to follow the site for the upcoming competitions. For this month, as Habib said, there is lighting competition as well. So, and this is there is no joining fees or anything. This is absolutely free for each and everyone. So the only thing you have to do, you have to dedicate it to the work and take review and get prizes as well. So this is what it is. So go on the site and check everything. And any problem you face, just contact to the Click Academy. And for opening also, if we go through any kind of opening anywhere, we'll just inform Click Academy, and you can get the information from there. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, yes. For all the other artists also, I'd like to say this image, you can go to our website and download, and you can do the lighting compositing, which is going on this month. For next months as well, we'll be conducting this monthly challenge for all the department. So you can go to our website and follow. So this month, if you can do next month as well, we'll be having lighting competition, so you can follow, and all the other department also competitions are going on, so you can follow that. And from my side, I've covered everything, whatever I needed to show for this image, to creation of this image. From your side, if you have any question regarding this process, regarding any software, Mixer, Quixel Mixer, Quixel Megascan, SpeedTree, Maya, Nuke, or any other software, Unreal, any other software, if you have any questions, or if you have any questions regarding courses, regarding institution, regarding the mentors, regarding the course fees, anything, you just contact Click Academy. You'll get one update. Get the updates.
Thank you, Habib. So last but not the least, that we will have a session of the free classes regarding designing, all about the composition and the colors and the the designing to create something interesting, then we will have the session by the next weekend at the same time, 5 p.m. So that, okay, that's all. Thank you everyone to be a part of this conversation, these classes. Hope you will get the good knowledge from our side, and hope we will see you soon again. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Let us conclude.
If anybody wants to directly talk with us, they can switch on their mic and talk. Otherwise, we'll be finishing the chat. Yes, I think that's all from everyone.
That's all then. Okay. Thank you everyone. Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye bye. See you guys. See you next weekend with
The art of design.
art of design. Yeah, free classes. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.